You may have heard of Citizens United, the Supreme Court case that unleashed unlimited spending by special interests in American elections. But what if I told you the roots of that decision go back to a case you may not have heard of? It's the case of Buckley v. Valeo from way back in 1976. Today is the anniversary of the Buckley decision, but there's little to celebrate. Buckley was the first time in American history that the Supreme Court had been asked, among other things, if spending limits in elections were constitutional. The court's answer to that question fundamentally reshaped our political system and placed the interest of political donors above ordinary Americans. What did the court decide in Buckley? That money equals speech. This was a radically new concept that had not existed for the first 2 centuries of American history. The Buckley precedent meant that any attempt to limit election spending was likely to be a violation of the First Amendment. Turning money in politics into a First Amendment question put the federal judiciary in charge of campaign finance in America. Over the nearly 50 years since the Buckley decision, these judges have created a system of rigid, centralized mandates that states or Congress can't overrule. In practice, Buckley has created a system where money dictates the direction of our elections. Now, wealthy outsiders from big cities and even foreign countries can spend unlimited sums to influence elections in places where they've never set foot. The result is an electoral system that the vast majority of Americans can't stand. The consequences of equating money with speech have been profound. Elections are more expensive than ever. Running for office is often out of reach for those without deep pockets or billionaire donors. Special interests dominate. Corporations, wealthy organizations, and billionaires can drown out the voices of everyday Americans. Special interests get a return on their investments, while everyday Americans feel ignored and unheard. Buckley v. Valeo wasn't the only decision creating problems with money in politics, but it laid the foundation. It opened the door for decisions like Citizens United that unleashed unlimited spending by corporations, unions, and even foreign entities. Today, Americans are trapped in a system where donors matter more than actual constituents. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to stay this way. We can tackle the challenges created by Buckley v. Valeo. How? A bold long-term solution known as the For Our Freedom Amendment. This constitutional amendment would restore the power of states and Congress to decide whether and how to regulate money in elections, and it would get unelected and unaccountable judges out of the business of campaign finance policy. It's time to reclaim our self-government and ensure that our elections work for everyone, not just the wealthy few.